I've got a 1978 Volvo 245, and I love the car, but the seats are pretty hammered. Luckily, you can often find them in junkyards. So I found a set that was in almost mint condition. Problem is, they're a little dirty. So I looked all over the place for a proper set of instructions on how to disassemble these seats so that you can take the covers off and wash them, but I kind of came up short. Lots of posts with pictures, lots of text instructions, but I haven't found a proper beginning to end video of how these seats come apart. So today we'll be taking apart this seat so that we can take the covers off and run them through the wash. Before we start to take the cover off, we'll have to remove the lumbar adjustment knob and the seat reclining knob. To remove the lumbar adjustment knob, just simply turn it all the way out to the left. At some point you'll find that it just spins right off. And you can pull it right out. This is just sits right on there and you can pull it right off. Easy peasy. Removing the reclining knob is a little bit trickier. This center cap right here actually pops out. And so you can just stick a screwdriver through the back, and there are holes in the metal part that it attaches to. Just pop it right out. When you look inside the reclining knob, you'll see that it's attached to this shaft with this metal disc. We have to remove this. Now, I haven't found a real easy way to do this. You basically have to bend these pins out, the pins that grip the central shaft. So I've got this pick here that I'm just going to use to try and get in there and pry those up, at least enough that we can get the knob off. Comes right off, and after that, that should just lift straight up. With the knob off, we now need to take this plastic piece off. There's some clips down here at the bottom, and there's actually two retaining plastic bits underneath here. So we're going to pop these clips up and then move it this way in order to take the cover off. Just pop those off. They should pop off of this metal bracket, then push that way. You can see the clips here and here. And with the other side, it's very similar. Clips on the bottom, just pop those and then move it up and it comes right off. One thing you'll notice after you take the cover off is that the actual cover is secured by these bent metal prongs here. If you don't pry these up and you try to take the cover off, you'll end up ripping the cover. So you want to carefully take a flathead screwdriver and pry those up. And don't forget to repeat on the other side as well. I've got the seat flipped over onto its front so we can actually see the bottom, and you can see these exposed rings along the back here. There's metal bars inside these covers, and these rings hold the seat cover together here. We need to take these off. Don't worry about trying to salvage these when you're done, because we're just going to go ahead and replace them with zip ties. So if you have nippers that are big enough, you can go ahead and try and cut these apart. I don't, so I'm going to be using a couple sets of pliers to try and pry them apart and then slide the ring out. When you're doing this, you want to be careful. Try not to rip this up too much. It's on the bottom of the seat, it won't be too visible, but you know, you just scored some awesome seats, you don't want to screw them up. I found that using these nippers, these diagonal cutters, actually works well to separate the ring where the ends meet. Now these last two rings actually secure this piece to the seat frame, so those all have to be removed as well. Okay, now with all those rings out, you can see that this just flops right up. You've got this metal bar that runs through here. Just go ahead and slide that out carefully. And set it aside so that we can reassemble later. There's another one here, which is trickier to get out. We'll remove that once we push it through to the other side. So from here, you can see if I fold this back, we've got this the bottom part of the seat. You can just push that through. You can see the seat foam is exposed. And once you get that through to the other side, you have to pull from the front. We can go ahead and start to pull the back of the seat up. So we'll put the seat upright, and then I'll just come over here and pull that front piece through from the other side. This is a little bit tricky because you have that metal bar, but it's really difficult to get that strip of metal out of the cover. Well, after this has come through, start to pull this cover up. Around the foam. Be careful around these areas because you don't want to rip the seat or the foam too much. Also make sure that your cover isn't caught on those hooks we bent up earlier. Just go ahead and slip this back through the sleeve, remove the metal piece, and set it aside with the other one. At this point, I like to turn the cover inside out. It makes it easier when pulling it up. That foam is not in the best condition, is it? It's better than the one I have. Turn it inside out. Start to pull carefully up. You'll see these are heated seats, so we've got the heated panels here. And once you get to this point here, you'll see that it's kind of creased in. It's actually secured from the back. There's another set of those hooks that we'll have to remove in order to pull it up past this point, so don't get too crazy. So rearranged to the back of the seat is showing, and you can see we pulled the cover up. And if you look closely here, these two holes here, this is what I'm talking about. These are where these clips from the front secure to a metal bar in the seat cover. So we'll have to go ahead and remove these rings. You can see one there and one there. We'll have to remove those as well. And that's about as far as you're going to get without taking the headrest off. Now, taking the headrest off is another area online where I found a lot of vague references to feeling about 6 inches down from the top of the seat, and just all sorts of crazy instructions on how to remove the headrest. This is not an easy thing. I did this on my other seat already, and I actually had to get a friend to pull on the headrest while I depressed the tabs. And what are the tabs, you say? They're these things right here, these two things. If you push these in at the same time, it's supposed to release the headrest. There's bars that kind of go down here and secure the headrest into the seat frame. So without my friend here, I'm gonna try and think of a way to do this by yourself at home, preferably with as little tools as possible. And this is what I was able to come up with. I've got the seat suspended over an old tire and hanging from some of the joists in my garage, so hanging from a ratchet strap from the headrest. So I'm going to go ahead and set the camera up and try and depress those tabs and pull down on the seat and see if I can't get it to fall gracefully onto that old tire. This is going to look a little strange, so I apologize in advance. There we go. Now that we got the seat cover off the back, it's time to focus on getting the seat cover off the bottom. I've got it flipped on its front again, supported on this tire, and as you can see along the sides here, we've got 2 more rings there, 2 more over there, which I assume you are an expert at removing now. And then we've got the addition of these new flat bars under here. These flat bars have little tabs on the end. You can kind of see one of them poking out there. And there's another one on the other side, and they secure this piece of they secure the front of the seat cover to the seat frame. So the secret to removing these is you can just pull up in the middle, and it bends the bar, and that tab pops right out. And from there, you should be able to just slide out that piece, like so. There's another one on the back here. It's kind of obscured by this bracket, or this cover, but there's another one right there, and I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to pry this bracket out of the way, or maybe I'll just remove it. We'll see what happens, but let's get to it. Now, the last little bit you have to remove before you can start peeling off the seat cover is this clip that secures it to the back of the seat frame there. You can see it's right here. It might be a little bit tough to see. Let me see if I can get that metal clip sandwiches the seat cover around the back of the frame there, and so we can just pop that off with a flathead screwdriver and a hammer. Just put the screwdriver against that, tap the back of it, pops right off. You may need to pry this metal piece off or back a little bit in order to remove this. That should fold right off around there. There's a little bit of adhesive here I'd found on the back, or at least it seems like there is, but that's going to be on the inside, so if it tears, it's not going to be a huge deal. Just peel that out of there. And then do the same thing on the other side. And now with the seat cover all unsecured on all those points, we can start to peel it off. Should come up. The seat cushion can come with it too, so just be aware of that. Whole thing comes right off. As I said before, these are heated seats, so we've got these wires that are kind of hanging us up, but there you go. One last step. When you go to peel this off of the foam, there is another metal bar in the middle here. Let's see if I can get a shot of that. Well, it looks like we'll have to fix that too. There is another metal bar in here with yet more of these rings. So just split those again, remove the bar, and remove the bars from the sides if you haven't done so already, and then you can throw these things in the wash. As you can see, we've taken the seat covers off. We have the heated seat pads there, and we've got the seat covers over there waiting to go in the laundry. Those you want to wash on cold and let them air dry. Don't put them in the dryer. And that's about it. The other thing I do want to mention is that, and I don't want to get into a seat repair video, but you can see that this seat grill, or this seat grid that supports you is missing some pieces have fallen apart. You can reassemble these fairly easy. It is kind of a pain to reattach those because it's under tension. Those springs can also be a bit tricky to re-put on and reassemble, but it can be done. You can also order new seat grids online. There's a couple of different places that sell improved seat grids, so that might be one way you want to go. But again, other people have done seat repair videos. I want to just focus almost strictly on the disassembly process. As they say, reassembly is the reverse of removal. There are a few things that you'll have to do. Zip ties you'll have to figure out on your own. I use those tiny zip ties, and they work just great, even easier than putting those rings back on. The other thing is do I have it here? This tiny metal disc. You'll have to move these pins back towards the center and pound it back on with the dome up, like it's a little hat. But other than that, it's fairly simple. If I screwed anything up, or if you have any other ideas about how to do something better, feel free to go ahead and leave a comment down below. If you found this video helpful, let me know by giving this video a thumbs up. And I'll probably be making more videos on vintage Volvo modifications and repair. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, go ahead and subscribe. See you next time.